Baldoni has tried to manipulate, threaten, control, and otherwise act inappropriately towards Miss Ferrer. He's not asking you on a date. This is a subpoena. What is happening? What did Blake do to this woman? I was reading Isabela Ferrer's motion to quash and request for sanctions, and the one word that kept coming towards me over and over and over was unhinged. It was a mess. The way her lawyers put this thing together, the tone, the frenzy with which they were typing, I just saw them really typing in a crazy manner. And I was thinking, this girl sounds unwell. Now, clearly it's her lawyers who are doing the talking, but everything they're doing is on behalf of their client. We talked about this before with the whole Taylor Swift's lawyer feeling threatened by Blake Lively's lawyer. And if this ever comes out and it gets confirmed by Taylor herself, Blake Lively is going to say, oh, it wasn't me who told him to say that. He went rogue. I never said he should make that threat. Lawyers never act this way unless it's on behalf of their clients, unless it's under direct instruction of their clients. So everything her lawyers were saying for Isabela was coming directly from their client. She requested this. And quiet as it's kept, it's probably Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds who are paying for her representation. Okay, let's just put that out there. But it just sounded so unhinged, and you could have a sense of an unraveling happening. And I'm saying to myself, this is not normal. This is not the normal behavior of somebody who, number one, has nothing to hide, and number two, is living a normal, productive life, minding her business, and just awaiting instructions to show up to court and tell her truth. Everything about this, the way that the Baldoni lawyers described the fact that they couldn't get in touch with her, they sent the subpoena to different addresses, they emailed her lawyer who they had already been in contact with, and this lawyer refused to even reply to the subpoena. None of this is normal behavior. It sounds, like I said, like an unraveling. It also sounds as if that motion, it was clearly to make Justin look as bad as possible. And when you contrast this to the sweet text that she sent him when the movie wrapped and she was thanking him, and we're going to go back to that, how thoughtful and methodical she was in letting him know how good he made her feel. And you put it in contrast with this disaster that was sent to the court, that was rambling, that was accusatory, that was paranoid, misspellings everywhere. You have to wonder, what happened to Isabela? What happened to her? What happened to that young woman between the time she wrote him a thank you note and today, present day, where she's accusing him of all kinds of things? First of all, I want to read some of the motion where she's describing how Justin's lawyers have been trying to contact her starting in February of this year. Bear in mind, this is 2 years since they wrapped filming. And she's talking about how they have been trying to get in touch with her. And she says, from that point forward, Baldoni has tried to manipulate, threaten, control, and otherwise act inappropriately towards Miss Ferrer. Excuse me, ma'am. I'm sorry. He's not asking you on a date. This is a subpoena. He's not asking you out. What is happening? What did Blake do to this woman? Is what I want to know. Because none of this sounds normal. She's talking about Baldoni doing all these things being inappropriate, when all that has happened is his lawyers have been in touch with her lawyers trying to get her to sit down for a deposition, trying to get some documentation from her. This is happening because her friend Blake Lively launched a lawsuit in which she implicated her in a very clear way, making it seem that she was a witness to everything that Blake suffered on the set of It Ends With Us, which would be strange because they had no scenes together and they didn't really meet in person and sit down and talk to each other until after filming wrapped, because they did not film at the same time. So her friend, her bestie, implicated her in this, and that is how she's been dragged into this case that she's asserting she had nothing to do with and she wants nothing to do with it. So why are you coming after the guy who was dragged just like you were dragged into this, instead of going after the woman who started this whole mess? Because the woman who started this whole mess, Blake Lively, is the one who is behind this unhinged behavior. After the film wrapped, from what I understand, again, they had no scenes together. That's when the friendship between Isabela and Blake blossomed. And it seemed very heavy-handed on the part of Blake Lively. How she was just drawing Isabela into her world. She invited her to her home. She had sleepovers with her, where they were talking and sharing and listening to music. She flew her on her private jet to the premiere of not only It Ends With Us, but also the premiere of her husband's movie, Deadpool and Wolverine. It was very heavy-handed, sending her flowers, styling her for her premiere, doing her hair and makeup with her hair products. This whole thing just seemed, and several of the other content creators who have been describing this describe it very accurately, like what it seems like love bombing. And love bombing is basically when somebody wanting to ingratiate themselves with you, trying to manipulate you, they just shower you with attention and gifts and praise and all these things to try to get you in a vulnerable place where you can trust them and rely on them and maybe fall in love with them in cases of romantic relationships. But also it can very much be done as a friendship thing, as a tactic to get under somebody's skin and to get them to trust you and to like you and to need you. That makes them prime for manipulation. And when I was listening to all of this, it reminded me of that documentary that you guys know. I've made a couple videos on it. Please go check them out. Stolen Youth, The Cult at Sarah Lawrence. And it's the story of this guy, Larry Ray, who finagled himself into the lives of some college students at Sarah Lawrence College. And he just... It's just so fascinating. I pray that you will sit down and watch it. It's on Hulu. And I've watched it a couple of times because I think it's so fascinating. When I talk about these things, celebrity gossip and documentaries and what's happening in the culture, I'm more fascinated by the psychology behind it. What is behind the thinking of these people? How do they end up in the situations that they end up in? I find that extremely fascinating. But I urge you to watch the documentary because it will give you a window into how people who manipulate others, how they get in there, how they get into their heads. And as a quick little recap for those of you who didn't see the documentary breakdown that I made, Larry moves in with a group of students who live off campus, but it's still campus housing. And this grown man, because his daughter was one of their roommates, he ends up living with them, and they just kind of see him as the house dad, and he cooks for them and he has meetings with them and he uplifts them. But then in the summer, when they were moving out of campus housing, he gets this apartment and several of them move in with him. And that's when things kind of start to unravel. Things get dark. He starts speaking to them in a very authoritative way. He starts putting things in their heads that makes them distrust people around them. He isolates them from their family and friends, gets into their heads, and it devolves into a situation that is very abusive. And the toll it left on the young people after they finally get to escape him, it's something that it just broke my heart. It just destroyed the descriptions of the abuse and the way he manipulated them. And he even had one of the girls working as an escort for him. He pimped her out, and she made over $1 million that she gave him because he convinced her that she owed him money, that her parents had done something to him, and that somehow she owed him money. And so this whole situation was just horrific. And the thing I kept thinking is, oh my goodness, how did this happen? How could this happen? And when you look at these young people, how they started out, They were so happy and hopeful and full of life. And by the time he was done with them, they were paranoid and scared and distrustful of people around them, and distrustful of people they once loved, even their own parents. And so I know it might feel like a stretch, but manipulators use the same playbook. It's the same tactics. First, I am going to love bomb you. I am going to overwhelm you with good things. Whether it's cooking for you, making a family meal, you're a college student who's miles away from home and you just miss those warm, delicious home-cooked meals. And so here I'm going to give it to you. Or if you're an up-and-coming actor, and here I am, an established actress, and I just want to fill you with praise and tell you what a great job you did and how you're going to go far in this career. And let me invite you to my home and cook for you. And let's be girls together. And let me comb your hair and style you and give you this wonderful, beautiful jewelry that I own. I'm going to lend to you. And let me fly you in my private jet to these premieres and introduce you to all these famous people. And I heard you're a fan of Taylor Swift. Did you know that she's my best friend? Did you know that she picked you out of a lineup and said that you were the person who should play the younger version of me? One day I'll introduce you to her. How about that? It starts that way. The person gets overwhelmed with a feeling of, everything is wonderful. Everything is going to be great. But then things kind of devolve, and it always starts as, are you okay? Were your parents good to you? Were they nice to you, or were they mean to you? Did they not appreciate who you really were? So how was Justin on set? Was he nice to you? Yeah? Did he appreciate the work that you put in? Because I was looking at some of the raw footage, and it seems to me, I don't know, that the attention he was giving you, it felt inappropriate. What do you think? I don't know. I wasn't there, but you tell me. Because when I was on set, he said this and this and this, and that was inappropriate. And at first I thought it was just boys being boys. But afterwards, when I sat down and I thought about it, I thought that was inappropriate. He shouldn't have said that to me. I don't think that was okay. How about you? Have you had time to think about how he treated you, the things he said to you, the kind of jokes he joked about that? Huh. That's funny, but don't you think that was inappropriate? I know you guys were acting and everything, and there were some love scenes, but it seems to me like, I don't know, the way you're describing it is as if Justin enjoyed it in real life. It's the mixing of real and fake. They're always going to require your participation, because this is what Larry did to his victims. He always asked them, tell me about your background, tell me about your parents. And he would listen and listen and listen and look for little things that he could pull out to make it sound like, that wasn't nice. They shouldn't have done that. I don't think that was okay. But then the next step is even more sinister. The manipulator starts to plant memories of things that didn't happen. But they could have happened. Who's to say they didn't happen and that the trauma caused you to forget? This is what Larry did to the students. He was manipulating. And I believe that this is what Blake did to Isabela. Because for that young girl to go from writing a beautiful thank you letter to Justin Baldoni after filming Rap. And here's the thing, and I've heard other people say this. Sometimes, even if you didn't have a good experience with a boss or a co-worker or whatever, on your way out, you don't want to burn that bridge and you don't want things to be awkward. So you say, that was so nice. I really enjoyed that. Even after a bad date, you may not want to upset the person you went on a date. So you say, I really enjoyed this. And you might even send a text. Thank you so much. I enjoyed tonight. Good luck. Because you want to end on a good, positive note. And some might say, well, Isabela probably sent that because she didn't want to burn that bridge. This was her first major movie, and she didn't want to burn the bridge with somebody who could open another door for her to work with another director. But there was something about that letter that tells me that wasn't just a little, okay, thank you, that was nice. When she said, you made the production a safe space or something along those lines. It was a safe space. I felt so safe and so seen. You don't throw that word around if you did not feel safe. You're not going to volunteer that. That's not necessary. She didn't have to say that. She could have just said, I enjoyed working with you. Thank you so much. I learned so much. Until next time. The fact that she said, I felt so safe and so seen, means to me that she really meant that. For us women, you know, if you're a woman and you're watching me, you know, it feels lovely when you're in the presence of a man or men and they can make you feel safe. It's something that you cherish. It's not something that you take for granted. And I truly believe that Isabela felt that way during filming. And she wanted to convey that to Justin when she was saying goodbye to him. So for her to go from that to Mr. Baldoni was trying to control me. And she's not even talking about the set. She's talking about him trying to find her, to send her a subpoena so that she can corroborate whatever it is she felt happened on set. For that to get to, he was trying to manipulate me and he was trying to control me and he was inappropriate. Those were words that Blake used when she was accusing Justin. She managed to create these false impressions of Justin into Isabela's mind. And this is right out of the playbook of a manipulator like Larry Page. I believe that was evil. That was evil. And I don't think it stopped at Isabela. And the fact that she would do all these gestures for all the people on set after it wrapped, flying them on her private jet, inviting them to premieres, introducing them to her husband, who's a big celebrity, introducing them to Hugh Jackman. This is all in the playbook of a manipulator. Separate them from their people, isolate them, praise them, love bomb them, impress them, tell them how impressed you are with them, and then slowly start introducing these thoughts into their minds, these false memories, to the point where they believe it actually happened. When I was watching the rollout of the movie, none of these people would even mention Justin's name. They would tense up when a reporter would ask them, how was it working with Justin Baldoni as the director? They would tense up and they would try to change the subject. That signals fear to me. That reminds me of Larry's victims, how they were afraid of their own parents. There were these siblings who lived with him and they were part of this whole thing in the documentary. And to me, that was the most heartbreaking part, how he separated them from their parents, made them distrust their parents, made them fear the parents. So afterwards, when the mom was trying to connect with them and she would knock on their door and say, it's your mom, I just want to see you, I have missed you, I just want to talk to you, and they wouldn't even open the door. That broke me, because my family is everything to me. I am extremely close to my parents and my siblings. And I can't even imagine somebody making me distrust them and be afraid of them to the point where I won't even see them anymore. That was the worst part to me. Now, obviously, Blake Lively creating a wedge between Isabela and the other actors and Justin Baldoni is not as tragic of breaking up a family. But in a way, in a film set, the cast and crew, they cannot become a family. But Blake introduced herself in there because she had these nefarious objectives to take the movie and subsequent films from Justin so she could have it for herself. And for that reason, she created such an ugly wedge between Justin and the people he employed and tried his best to make them feel safe and seen and appreciated just because she wanted to be selfish. Diabolic. Horrible. Horrible. And it is clear to me that Blake Lively was given the gift of influence. That is a powerful gift. That is a gift that is extremely valuable. And the fact that Blake used this gift instead of to heal the world, to bring awareness to good causes, to help cure diseases or feed the hungry, to bring down real predators in Hollywood like Harvey Weinstein, whom she worked with and praised and even kind of defended him after stuff came out about him. For her to, instead of using that power of influence that she has for good, and instead turned on somebody who tried his best. I don't know Justin Baldoni from a can of paint. I don't know if this man is really this sweet person. He's a human being, and we all have darkness and light within us. And I'm not saying that the man was perfect, but from all the evidence that has been presented by his team, he was not the monster that she painted him to be. But what was the monster was her desire to take something that didn't belong to her and to take it by force and to use this gift that was given to her to steal, to rob a person of their life's work. What a waste of talent and a gift that could be used to bless the world. She used it for a selfish reason. The karma is going to be fierce. It's going to be fierce. And I have to make a video about the Taylor Swift, the announcement of her album. I don't believe that Taylor is going to blast her. I'm going to leave it for the next video. I'm going to talk about it in the next video. But yeah, the karma is going to be sweet. I don't know if she's going to be met by the justice that she should be met by in court. Oh, but it's coming. It's coming. It's going to happen. When you are given a gift this powerful and you use it for evil, only bad can come. Only bad can come. And I don't want to infantilize Isabela, because I've seen a lot of people saying, oh, she's a young girl and we don't want to blame her. It's not really her fault. She's 26 years old. We need to stop infantilizing white women. We need to stop that. She's a 26-year-old woman who made the decision to go along with what was suggested to her. She's here crying crocodile tears, talking about, oh, I'm just a up-and-coming actress, and I'm just trying to make it in Hollywood, and these people are harassing me. You know what you're doing, Isabela. You should know better. You've been in this industry. You've seen what's going on. You've seen the evidence that he has presented, but you still go along with what Blake is putting you up to. And who knows? You know what? It could very well be the case, like I saw in that documentary, that she is losing it. Because when you listen to this whole thing, they're trying to find her. They can't find her at any of her addresses. Her lawyer refuses to answer a subpoena. It sounds unhinged. Maybe Blake pushed her a little too far. And she's at a place of paranoia where people are trying to find her and she refuses to open the door. Like those kids in the documentary. Isabela, I'm very disappointed in you. Until you do right by Justin, until you tell the truth, nothing you do will prosper. You will not have the career you were hoping to have. Blake won't be able to help you because Blake's career, very, very sketchy right now. And even the mighty Mr. Reynolds, they're kind of on thin ice right now. So if you hitched your wagon to those horses, and those horses are coming off a cliff, guess what's going to happen to you too? So do the right thing, tell the truth, and maybe you can salvage your career. And that doesn't just go for her, it also goes for all the other actors who have been going along with this farce. It's ridiculous and it is shameful. Shame on you. But tell me what you think about this. Please leave me a comment. Let me know what you think. Do you think that this is what we're witnessing is somebody who's been brainwashed? I believe it is the case. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe to my channel if you'd like to see me do more commentary on pop culture and what's happening in the news. Please share this video with others if you enjoyed it. This helps my channel grow. We're almost at 4,000, guys. Let's make it to 4,000. Please share this video. Also, watch other videos while you're here. I recommended the documentary, The Cult at Sarah Lawrence. Please watch it, especially if you have young people in your life. Please watch it. You have children that are about to go to college. Let them watch this so that they can fortify themselves and identify the signs of a manipulator so they won't be the next victim. Give this video a like if you enjoyed it. Once again, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye. Wow.